Greetings and welcome to Gnodcast with Gnod founding members Paddy Shine and Chris Haslam. Gnod bless.
Dali.
Cool. Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the Gnodcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
No, it's our pleasure.
Yes, that's cool.
Yeah. So, Dali, let's get straight into it. Give us a little bit. Give us an intro. Give us a little bit of background on yourself.
Okay. I'm not going to be like very, very personal or things like that. Clearly, my background is like I arrived in this country in 2011. I never played music before, but I was always like singing. It's a thing that I've done for myself. But arriving here was like, well, maybe I can do that outside my house with other people. And so I get to music like that, 2012. Yeah. And since 2012, I'm based in Bristol. And based in Bristol, I met a lot of people playing music. And I met you guys through this music thing. So that's my background.
Okay, wow. Well, do you mind me asking where was it you came over from? From France or from where?
Yeah. That's a good question. Actually, I was coming from Lyon, and actually, my family background, without like being too precise, is from Morocco. So I grew up in France. I'm born and bred in France, but then I moved from France to Britain, to Bristol.
And did you move to the UK for music or for artistic?
No, not at all. I was not a musical person. I was like before Bristol. I was not involved in music. I always had like obviously a great interest in music. I always wanted to see gigs and enjoy music. I really enjoy music. I think but here I had this kind of strength to go out and say, okay, I'm a musician too. I'm a musical person too. I can do things related to music. So yeah, no.
And so, tell me, were you always into the kind of weirder, noisy kind of experimental stuff that you found yourself to be a part of? Was that the music you were listening to anyway?
But je sais pas. No, I think okay. Let's say it like that. With the family background being Moroccan, I mean, the traditional music in Morocco is weird for plenty of people,
Yeah.
If you listen to this music, like, for example, if you enter to the Gnawa world, or even like the music that is played in a wedding is crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. It's really like moving people to the point that, So listening to this kind of music when I was a child was not for me something like a weirdo music. It was the music of my parents. And I think that brought me to this kind of, listening, because in traditional music in Morocco, you have also this very important aspect that is trance. And this is like something I saw people getting in trance. I was a child. Like one of the first memory I have related to music was to be in a wedding in Morocco and seeing like people dancing like crazy, like getting in their trance. I saw women getting in trance, and it's just like something that for me, kind of appealing.
Yeah.
Was it scary?
Yeah.
Was it scary to see that when you were a child?
Chipa, I think I have like, I mean, maybe I don't know if I was scared or fascinated, because this is like something that is like, you are just like, wow, what is happening? And you don't know what is happening. Since like, clearly, I certainly had like myself experience of trance. playing later or being like, you know, listening to music or. But when you saw that from not feeling it, it's just like, okay, so I kind of like this effect. I like to see this, but I don't know what's going on. I don't understand it.
Yeah. And I guess it's normalized because it's part of your culture, your parents' culture. So they're not standing around going, oh my God, what is she? Is that lady okay? It's just completely normal. It's like how it is.
It's not like, I mean, clearly being like in a cultural in this cultural world, I saw some different reaction in Morocco. In Morocco, for example, or in France, in weddings, I saw different reaction to these people getting in trance, and I don't want to tell too much, but yeah, once. My mom got into a trance, and my little sister, she was really upset. She was like, calm down, calm down.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, it's just like, it's something that happened because, mom was sharing this feeling with another woman who was friend with her. And this woman had, there is like a lot of, I don't know how to say that in English, but
emotion?
When this woman, sorry?
Like emotion?
Yeah. There is a lot of emotion going on. And actually this kind of entrance to the trance is built by your emotional weight. So I remember this woman, she has been like through a lot of problems, a lot of issues in her life. And when she was in this wedding with my mom, dancing together, she communicated that to my mom.
Wow.
Well,
it's amazing.
I say that should not go too personal.
No, it's super interesting. I mean, I am obsessed with Moroccan music, Nawa music, and the Berber music from Morocco.
Yeah.
And I went there for like 4 years every year, for a month around Christmas, and just was like searching out musicians and spending a lot of time in the Gmail Fanar actually in Marrakesh. Just checking out the scenes and like seeing a lot of trance scenes and seeing a lot of like very weird stuff. And the music is absolutely mental.
Yeah.
And it's also, it really reminds me of like Irish music, like traditional Irish music. If Irish traditional music was a little bit more experimental, maybe it would be Morocco. It would be like a Moroccan or North African style of music, and it makes all the hairs stand on my body and makes me feel like I'm hearing something that I've heard for millennia, like something that goes very, very far back. But I see. Okay, so you already had like your ears trained for the weirdness of the music that you actually ended up making.
Yeah, well, clearly I think so. And all the Arabic music has this part of kind of weirdness. Like one of the most famous singer in the Arabic world is called Kulthum.
Yeah, I love Kulthum. Yeah.
Well, so I don't know if you saw footage of her concerts.
I have actually.
Yeah. So you saw what is happening in the room. Like men are like fainting.
Yeah.
People are crying. It's just like, what's going on here? And it's just like a woman mastering her vocals and talking about her emotion. It's really, really deep. So I think that's my kind of background.
Yeah. So Kulthum is an inspiration, massively.
Well, it's also someone that has always been here, you know. It's the when you are a child, you listen to things in your home, and it took you a while to understand how these things have been like going through you, and they dig their own path or into you. So that's something that now I'm really like, because if I think about things that I have been choosing, listening to. For example, the Velvet Underground was really something that was a shock for me when I discovered them. It was like, getting lost in, all the live performances that you can listen from the Velvet. You can feel like these people, they are not like, they are building something with their music that help them, getting to the kind of zone.
Yeah, I totally know what you mean. And so when you got like, what was it that kind of sparked you into doing the music, like starting to do it with other people? What, after you were in Bristol, did you meet some people or see a gig that's something that got you into starting to do it?
I think that's a very good question. The question was like the need of, okay, this city is like really cool because you have gigs all the time, everywhere you can go out. But there was not like, if I'm remembering, there is not like one gig that make me feel like, wow, I need to do that. No, it was more like a kind of openness. You feel like everything, like every evening you have like different style and you can do like plenty of stuff. And at this time I was living in a very small flat. We were two in the flat, and I was singing all the day or something like that. So for my partner, it was just like, come on. Again. So at some point I was like, but I need to get out. And he was saying to me, go out, do it outside. So I was really looking for something at some point because I was bored to do that on my own. And I went to the Cube. I don't know if you know the place. So it's a cinema, but it's also a music venue. It's very, very kind of a little bijou in Bristol. And I went to the Cube because I saw that they had this orchestra that was really like kind of vague but open. So everything was like saying like, it was saying like, okay, if you don't think that you are like a good singer, you can come. If you don't think you can play your instrument, you can come. So I was just like, okay, for someone who has never done that with people, I should go.
Yeah.
So I contacted them and I said, can I go? Can I just go once? I want to see what I'm doing. I arrived there and actually they were like 6 male and me, and I was not really good speaking in English. So I just came on stage, took a mic and played with these guys. And at the end, the guy was like running the thing. I said, can I come back next week? And he said, it seems like you have done that all your life. So you can come any time. So nice. I went back. Yes, that was really nice. And actually, on the 6 guys who were there that day, I ended up playing with 3 of them.
Wow.
Yes,
in
they
EP64.
were No, that was a pre-EP64. It was a domestic sound cupboard. So it was like a collective that we had. So James McPherson and Alex Jones, they were like going to the Cube Orchestra, and I met James that day, and we ended up like having like good fun, having like beers after, talking together, going to pubs after the Cube Orchestra. And one day said, I really like what you do, and we have this band, and do you want to join us? And it was James, Alex, Matthew Grigg, who is a guitar player, very good improviser, Harry Furniss playing cornet. Okay. And we ended up like Pete Bennett, and we ended up having this band. And also at this time, we started like the Sound Cupboard, was a night in Bristol, a night of improvised music. So it's like 2012, 2013. Yeah, I think we played together for 1 year before having like the guts to go out and put this kind of free jazz improv collective on stage. But yeah, we ended up having a regular night where we played our improvised music, and yeah. It was like there was also Terry Owen who was playing trombone, and Dave Finch who was playing sax. So it was a big band. So we started having.
Were you singing? Sorry.
Yeah. I was singing, but
but spoken word or like actual singing or
everything was like everything is possible.
Okay. Wow.
And it's always like the thing is like I never prepared things because I know that with these guys, for example, it was a very good thing I learned with them. Is like if you want to improvise, please do not prepare things, because we were like 7 or 8, and you always had like a guy saying, well, let's do that. At the end, nobody is doing what, people are like doing what they feel. It's improvised. Okay. So they try to answer to each other. They try to talk to each other. But yeah, if you prepare stuff, it's like weird. It doesn't sound right. In my opinion.
Okay. And is that your approach to everything that you do? Is that still what you do now?
No. No, for example, with Miguel in Harrga, things are very things are set. We know what we want. We know what we want to create with the music. We know what we want to. I know what I want to say. I'm writing the lyrics. The approach is totally different. I'm saying that, but next week we are going to play together an improvised set, which is very rare.
Okay.
but yeah, when I'm playing improvised music, I'd rather, if it's my own project, I'd rather leave people free to do what they want. So that was kind of the the philosophy behind EP64. It was like, okay, I just ask you to play with me. If you say yes, let's play together, and just like let yourself go, do what you want. But you play with people, so you can't like be I would say you can't like be violent again, like you don't want to show the that you are not like respecting people. So when you play, you are like trying to show something that is good to share, not something bad.
To be a part of a conversation rather than just shouting at everybody.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't do that. I think so. I mean, this is for me like a good. It's a pattern of life, When you meet people on stage, it's like meeting people in a pub, and you are not going to. You want to talk with people, so you respect them, or stay at home on your own.
Nice. That's a nice way of a nice way of picturing it and imagining it.
Yeah, because for me, like it's really like political. Music is not something that art in general is political. It's like political in the sense that we live together. So it's an experience that we have together. And so by doing something together, we have to show to each other respect and to welcome each other. I mean, basically, this is what I want to show and feel. I want to feel that the people I'm with are comfortable with me and happy to be like sharing this moment.
Yeah. Excellent.
So what does Miguel do?
Miguel, when we play together when we play Harrga is doing the electronics is creating the music with synths or using his computer, but most of the time he's using synth.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cool.
so we have like several pieces that we released. So Heroic Animaux de la Misère was the first one. And building the full album was like to, it's about the migration crisis. So it's still very relevant to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still very relevant to show this work to the people, because the album was like released in 2019, but because of the pandemic, we never had the chance to really play it or to tour with it. So this is what I'm going to perform when we'll be touring together, guys. Is because clearly stop the boat, that means nothing. We have to move. It's the part of the DNA. People have to move when they are not feeling well, when they are in danger, so this album, we really want to carry on playing it with Miguel. And when we built it, we really at the beginning, it was not like something that political, but clearly it felt like, wow, we need to talk about this, because it was 2016, 17, where we met in 2016 together. And we started playing music in 2017 together. And I think we had both a lot, because he's Spanish from Galicia, which is not like the richest part of the country. And I'm Moroccan and French, but Morocco is also a good part of the life I know. When I haven't been a lot in Morocco, but when I've been there, I could see the difference in between, the discrepancy in between lives.
Of course, yeah.
It's shocking when you are like growing up in a country like France, and you go there and you realize that, wow, people are really struggling with and they made their life with not a lot. So clearly, to come back to what we do with Miguel, most of the time our music is like corrosive, but necessary, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And that album, the one that you're talking about, is did that come out on the on that
Avon
Bristol
Terror Corps.
Yeah.
It comes on.
Yeah. I got that album. And did it really come out in 2019? I thought it was early. Because didn't you guys? Because I remember the Harrga thing developing, and then all of a sudden you guys were playing like CTM Festival, and
it was at Tonal. Yeah, Berlin at Tonal.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But we were, I think, when it came out, we were like playing a bit before releasing the album. It came out in May 2019. So people knew a bit already the music we were playing. And that's why we were invited already. We were like supposed to play Supersonic in 2020. I mean, people were like reacting very well with this album. I mean, and if it wasn't because of the pandemic, I think people will know it better.
Yeah, you'd have probably done a fair bit of touring over those 2 years, I reckon, for sure. Because it did seem like people were really ready to hear Harrga and to see it,
Yeah.
I remember it at the time. But before, because there's the Harrga thing, right, which you're touring with us, and we'll talk a little bit about that later, how that's going to happen. But I would like to, before we go, I want to, because the EP64 thing, we've taken part in it. I think me and Chris have played as part of EP
in Bristol with Tony.
We played together.
You played with us in Bristol with Tony, which was a part of a Gnod R&D thing. That wasn't an EP64 thing, Chris.
It was not. No.
So tell us a bit about EP64, what it means and why it came about, because that was a massive project that went on for a long time.
Yes, that's true. So EP64 means ephemeral project 64. And so it came in a dream. I really had a dream one day in 2012 or 2013. I was like playing music, but yeah, so it was certainly 2013 or I woke up one morning and I was like having this dream that was really vivid. It was really weird. It was like I was in a record shop in Bristol and I was looking like in boxes, and the guy at the counter said, "Hey, what are you looking for?" And I was just like not answering, and he said, "If it's your band EP64, it's over because you wanted it." I was just like,
wow.
It's yeah, and you know, these dreams, like very vivid, you are just like, but what happened? So I woke up, said that to my partner, and I was just like, you know, and it took me a while to understand what was this EP64. It took me a while, and yeah. At some point, I wanted to play more because we were playing with the domestic sound cupboard, DSC, but we were like playing once a month in Bristol at the Crofters. We had our night, and I wanted to play more. So I ended up thinking this dream again came back to me, and I was like, yeah, ephemeral project 64. So the idea was to play 64 times with different people, different lineup, and improvise the music and record everything. So now this project is over. We reached the 64th gig. And what was really funny is the first one took place in the toilets in Bristol, in a toilet. It was a Victorian cloakroom toilet. It's now a cafe. But yeah, everything is a cafe now. But you know, at this time it was a Victorian toilets, and they made it like an art gallery or something like that. But it was really like kind of still in his own state. Well, some friend organized the Bristol Hum there, and it was the first gig. So I played with Dan Johnson, who is the main collaborator, and Nick Janaway, who was doing some electronics. And we played the first one here. And we ended up with the last one at the Arnolfini. The Arnolfini is the Contemporanean Art Center.
What a trajectory. What a trajectory.
Exactly. So I was
the
just
toilet
like,
to the prestigious art gallery.
Exactly. I was just like, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. So from the toilet to the art gallery. It's cool. We had like 2 days of celebration for the last one. And the idea was to invite all the people who took part to perform. Yeah, I sent you an invitation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we ended up doing this 2 days party at the Arnolfini in May 2022. So we had like 16 sets of music improvised over the weekend. So at some point we're going to release that.
I was going to say, when are we going to start seeing some EP64 releases? Because there's only one or two things on Bandcamp.
Well, they are like a bit more because we did like a lot of tapes.
Okay.
Well, we did like a lot of tapes. The last one was with Avon Terror Corps. It was EP64 57. And there will be one release very soon, EP64 63, which was with Valentina Magaletti, Agathe Max,
nice.
Yoshino Shihara, and Laura Phillips on visuals, and myself in New River Studio. So we're going to release that in April.
Okay.
It was I wanted to have this lineup of women to do the penultimate one.
Yeah.
And actually, it was really cool. So we're going to release that soon. And the big things will be like the 64th will be released in the year. There is also a movie. Like it was really a funny thing to do.
Okay.
Yeah, we had like a proper director coming. His name is James Hankins. So he's doing some videos, music videos usually, and he has done like a thing with Richard Dawson called The Hermite. I don't know if you saw that. The Hermite with Richard Dawson. He has done this for Richard Dawson, and this guy has been here all the weekend filming the whole event. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have like a big party for that too.
Cool.
Everything is like an occasion to party, you know.
Of course, that's the Bristol way.
Yes, it's true. It's true, Paddy. There is something here.
Nice. So, Dali, just to continue where we were there, who's releasing the EP 63 and 64? How are you getting them released?
Okay, so EP 64, 63 will be released by Permanent Draft with Valentina Magaletti and Fanny Carello new label. So we're going to be like their first baby.
Nice.
Which is, I'm very, very, very happy. I'm very thankful. And 64th, it's a big work. So it's maybe 7 or 8 hours of music.
Wow.
Like people, yes, it's going to be like, okay, you know me, I'm not going to make it like, fancy. I might like just have like a rack of, a box of tapes or CDs.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly. And I think the Brunswick Club edition was like behind the full event because I was I was really lucky. I was I ended up being supported by people to organize this event. So I had like the support of the Brunswick Club. It was a venue in Bristol, but they also have a label called the Brunswick Club Editions. I was supported by Beef, which is Bristol Expanded Film. The event was supported by Weaver, with Alliance for the Visual Art in the West of England. So a lot of people have been like pushing to create this event, and I think the Brunswick Club edition will be the one releasing this kind of mammoth release.
Yeah, it is mammoth. Fuck me, Jesus. But I mean, it makes sense for it to be on CD. You know, CD is perfect for that kind of thing.
You think so?
And then, yeah, I think so. And I think CDs. There's this thing that people don't like CDs or buy CDs, but that's not true. We don't find it to be true. We sell CDs, and also if you have a film as well, if you've got a CD thing, then you can have a DVD thing, and it all kind of fits nice together, you know. But
yes,
it depends. But that's crazy. And I mean, so when you say that you get the support of all these things, did you have to seek that support out, or is that people approaching you saying, "We love what you're doing. We want to support what you're doing"?
I think I've been extremely lucky to have people coming to me and saying, your project is fun, is good, and we really like it.
Wicked. Wow.
Yeah. I'm really bad at applying to stuff.
Well, you don't need to. Obviously, you don't need to. Just think about it. Just dream about it. Just keep writing down those dreams.
Let's have more dreams. Yeah.
Did your dream actually come true? Have you been in a record shop and that's happened?
I mean, no, but no.
Not yet.
Well,
not yet.
Voilà. Not yet. Maybe soon. I don't know. We need to release that first.
So the EP64 thing that finished up. I mean, one thing before we got onto Harrga, I wanted to ask you, because I remember we did our first show. Well, the first time we played together was in Bristol at the Exchange with Tony Surgeon.
Yes.
And I was always interested into how you got into doing the vocals, because I think you use a loop station and a giga delay, or is it just a giga delay?
I use a loop station and I use a voice transformer.
Voice transformer, okay.
And actually, I think that is interesting for me because it helped me like create some kind of another person singing with me. Or but
totally.
Anyway,
Get it.
I think that the setup. I could go on my mic on my own, but I think the most interesting thing is to be with the others. That's really the music of the others, or the music created by the group that put me in. I mean, clearly, as soon as I listen to the sounds, and I'm really kind of focusing on sounds, this is like getting me like to create sounds, and this is getting me to something that I want to discover or like dig in, or explore new territories.
Nice.
So this gig with you guys, that was like really cool. That was really cool.
It was a good gig. It was a very good gig.
Yeah. I mean, people after.
Sorry, go on.
Go on.
I was just going to say some of that gig ended up on Gnod R&D Volume 3.
Yes,
yeah.
I know.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
Yeah, I think it did.
See, I
didn't.
Yeah, I do. You know what? I do have the tape where this gig is.
It was a tape, yeah.
Oh, was it Volume 4?
Yeah, I bought it.
No,
you bought it?
Yeah, but like it was random. I mean, years after, I think. My partner is a record collectioner. He's like crazy in music.
Yeah.
And he also buy tapes.
Okay.
And I remember like you ended up playing here, I think. And Lionel came and bought you some tapes randomly. When we put it, was like, but this is me.
I'm sure that we fucking gave it to you. I mean, my God.
But that's fine. It's not a problem. Guys, you have like such a great production, so I can really understand that. Sometimes,
it's craziness.
Get lost. Things get lost. But that was fun.
I think that recording as well. I tried to record it, but couldn't set the recorder up. So Tony did it on his phone.
Yeah.
No. You're remembering it all wrong. No.
No, go on then.
Tony always records with the Zoom on the table where he's got his gear. He never puts it in the room. He always just puts it on the table. Yeah. And I was like, that's not going to fucking work, Tony. Not with this set. But it did work. It sounds all right. It doesn't sound amazing. No. But I remember anyway from that gig, I think that was the first time. I think we'd met before, Dali. I couldn't remember, but that was the first time I saw you perform, and I was like, fucking hell. Okay. So there's something fucking going on there. And then, and now we're getting to fucking tour together, which is pretty damn cool. And hopefully, maybe, let's see what happens. If you're up for it, and something, we have an occasion where we can jam together over the course of the tour, that would be pretty fucking cool as well.
Yes, that would be cool.
Tell us what it is that you're doing on the tour, because it's not EP64, it's a version of Harrga, isn't it? So
yes.
Yeah.
So I will perform Harrga. Obviously depend on the venues and maybe the crowd. I have like different pieces of music to perform. So Héroïque Animaux de la Misère, the first album, is the one I really want to perform. But we also released with Takoroku, so Café Auto digital label, when the pandemic happened, we released a piece called Femme d'Intérieur, which is about women being abused and women facing violence in a home when they are like, well, anyway, domestic violence against women. And this is also something that I like to perform. But I think mainly because we are going to Europe, north of Europe, I really want to perform Héroïque Animaux de la Misère. Because as I said, migration is something that you can't stop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And do you think that that's going to get across in your performance to these people in the north of Europe?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think what is cool when you are like touring is, I mean, I never toured, so I'm very, very, very happy and excited that we're going to do that together. Because obviously, guys, you've got your PhD in touring. I think like you are like very well. Well, you are damn good at that. But yeah, me, it's going to be my first time, so it's a relief to do that with you. And I think the interesting aspect of meeting and confronting your music for the first time to a new crowd, you will see what's coming.
Yeah.
I mean, what's coming out from the audience, what people will give you back,
Yeah.
So we'll see if people get it or no. It's true that it's not mostly it's in French, so it's not like mostly French, Darija, which is Arabic from Morocco, but not English. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see if people get it.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, me
your
too.
Your first tour, going out, doing it on your own every night. Yeah. It's exciting.
Right. I mean, Miguel always wanted that because Miguel has a health condition that he can't travel that often. So Miguel always said, you should go on tour and do this on your own.
Yeah.
But yeah, pandemic.
Of course,
and now, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Now we'll see.
Yeah. And I don't want to give like too much away about how you're going to do it, but I am interested in how you're going to do Miguel's side of the sound. I mean, you don't have to tell us because you don't have to give your secret to it.
It's not secret. It's not secret. It's actually a very, very good tool that Miguel advised me to buy, which is an Octatrack.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Yeah, so that's really interesting to have this kind of machine because it's even if it's complicated and not very intuitive, it's a very reliable machine. Because at some point we were wondering how I should do that. Shall I take my computer and play the backing track on my computer? But actually, a computer is not that reliable.
Yeah.
And this Octatrack is really kind of solid, and I need this kind of thing.
Okay. Can I ask a really nerdy, techie, boring question? Because I don't really know.
I'm not sure I can. I'm not sure I can reply to that. But
well, the question is, it's very simple, really. Like, how the fuck does an Octatrack work? Are you sampling? Have you presets, or is it you're just writing drum loops and stuff on the fly, improvising, or what?
So when I'm using it, because now I started like playing myself on this machine, like playing music on my own, but I'm not ready to tour with that.
Okay.
But yeah, but still, I'm still like trying to discover as this machine work. Really, you can do a lot. This machine is like crazy good to the fact that like because of this fact that you can do a lot with a minimal knowledge. But yeah, you have to have this 10%, which I'm certainly having 10% of the way you play this machine. And regarding what I'm going to do with Harrga, this machine is very good because you just enter your tracks on it, and you'll play them as backing track.
Ah, nice.
So you are like, for example, you are having like a full project, which is Harrga, Héroïque Animaux de la Misère, and all tracks are here in your machine.
Nice. And then you can kind of manipulate them as well, right?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay.
But me, I will still, the thing is I'm very involved in the vocal performance.
Of course,
and I'm doing stuff with my own pedals. So I needed a machine that I can rely on. I got just to push the button, and it plays Miguel's music. And then I can do my own stuff, my own music, if you want, my own share of the music, using my pedals and focusing on the delivery of my vocals. Because, there is like this big aspect of our music is like incarnation of this music. And this is, I think that is the job I have to do, is like how to incarnate this.
Excellent.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way you use the Octatrack is a similar way to the way I use a sampler, like a Roland SP404. I do the exact same thing. So
exactly,
like, they're a very, very useful, very, very useful tool. Especially for somebody like myself. I don't know, like about you, but I'm not a very big techie guy, or even a very, very good, like, musician in regards to like what a musician really is, like reading music or understanding this part of it. So these tools are like, they're like a godsend, they're like, oh, I need these things in my life to actually help me to do what I want to do.
It's true, but I would say to the Electron team, maybe guys, you can like work on the intuitivity of your machine. Sorry, it's a very, very good tool.
I use it. I use an MPC. I bet it's easier than that. MPC is quite hard. Does a similar thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Like you can play, you can put in tracks, like audio tracks, and then you can have layers going on.
Yes.
Or you can set it. You can basically automate or make it as performative as you want,
Yeah.
But I do a similar thing with that Secret Fields project, where I've got like basically the backing tracks in the MPC. If you've already written the music and you just need something to play it through.
Yeah.
With a bit of compression and a bit of and then you could maybe add layers onto that as well.
Yes.
A similar thing really than the Octatrack, but a different kind of, like, obviously operating system. So they've all got their own ways of doing the same thing, really.
Yeah, but you can see, using this machine, you can see that they are created by engineers.
Yeah.
So people who like machines, who talk to machines, but they're I've got friends like that. They talk to machines.
I mean, I think with those machines as well, I think people use them in many different ways. Like, so I guess you need a lot of options for the various ways that people use them for what they do. Yeah. But half of it you usually don't need, because you just use it your way.
Yeah. No, but it's good to use it your way. Huh? It's good, but with the Octatrack, you can't like come like that and just push buttons. You have to follow a little procedure that is not easy to understand if you're not going through the manual, which is not really attractive.
That would be very, very tough for me to. I'd probably get pretty bored pretty fast.
Well, imagine for me not being a native speaker of English and having just a manual in English and just take words.
You could probably
take words.
You could probably find some French YouTube tutorials though. That's a pretty good thing now. You don't have to just read the manual. You can just type in YouTube. How do you do this on an MPC or whatever?
Yeah,
true. It's true.
Yeah,
it's true. It's helped me so much. Yeah. Well, these tools that we have. So I mean, it's going to be mint then, really, heading out on the road with you, Dali. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be very interesting as well for a lot of our maybe normal Gnod crowd that we get in maybe in certain places to actually like witness Harrga, witness the sound of Harrga. And I'm looking forward to being in these venues when that's happening. And I mean, there's lots of places where we haven't played before or we haven't played in a long time as well, which is good too. So it's not like just the usual circuit that we do. There's actually quite a lot going on where we haven't been either. So I think it's going to be good all around, like for all of us. Some new experiences for everyone.
That's good.
Yeah. And it'd be interesting to see, because maybe we will get, like, in a lot of gigs, kind of like a more, I don't want to say conservative, but like conservative in regards to what they listen to, maybe, you know, like they might just listen to noise rock or psychedelic rock. For them to be hit with something from Harrga.
Industrial.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like a good challenge for me. Not being good. Like, it's great. Like I just want to see if I'm able to do that every night for 20 days, you know?
Yeah, of course you will. Have you ever, have you ever done gigs like in a row, like many every night? No.
No, I've been like doing 2 or 3 maximum.
Okay.
So it's just like, I don't know.
Because the one thing that happens to me, and I mean, I was a smoker as well at this point, but my voice would always, I'd lose my voice within like 6-7 shows. It was gone. So
that's really my concern, is like, and that's why I really want to see if I'm able to do that. Is to save your instrument. Okay, so when it's like as fragile as the voice, how do you cope with so I'm exercising every day. I'm doing my vocal works, my exercises every day, because I'm kind of I'm looking forward to it, but I'm a bit, you know, I don't know if it's going to be possible to sing every night, but that's fine. I think now that I have decided to do that by training myself, having like a discipline.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. You know. So
yeah. And I also think, like, even if you do lose your voice, one of the great things about that maybe will be breaking through that and realizing like that it's amazing what can happen when you've got to do what you've got to do, and you might have had no voice all day, and then suddenly you're on the stage and it's back. And it's transformed. It transforms a little bit. Like for me, some of the best gigs I've ever done have been when my voice is completely gone. I've gone on stage going, oh fuck, like this is I can't do anything, and then it comes back, but it's a different voice. It's like transformed, and it's almost better. It's almost like better, you know. So it's interesting. But, you know, I'm not going to be fucking doing what I usually do on tour. We used to do on tour, which is like not sleeping and smoking 1 million cigarettes a day.
No, right.
I'm not doing that anymore. So it'll be interesting to see this time around on tour if the same thing happens. And then I know it's not cigarettes, it's more something in my head. You know what I mean? More like a kind of a stress reaction to something, maybe. Whatever, you know?
Yeah, maybe. But I'm surprised by the story of getting back on stage and recovering your voice when you have none. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. It really means that you have a mindset.
Yeah. It definitely, and the mindset is either like my body is totally intuiting what's happening, and in the daytime it's saying you've got no voice because I'm not going to allow you to have a voice. So when it comes to this thing that you do at 10 p.m. every night for an hour and a half, you've got your voice for it. It's like a muscle memory or something, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Fuck knows. But it's good. I like it because it just makes everything weirder, and you're kind of like, okay, this is the journey we're on. Like, this is how it is. So How was the gig in Shipley? Sorry.
That was super cool. That was really, really cool. But they are going to refurbish the place, so they have to stop doing gigs there. But they said that they think that people will back them up, and they will come back after the big refurbishment of the center. But yeah, that was a super cool night. The only thing was like they had like electrical problem because it was so heavy for the system that it was like cutting.
That happened to us as well when we were it happened to Mick Harris. Yeah.
Yes.
It happened a few times. Yeah. Well, I mean, they'll be back. Those guys are always they're always like doing things and then disappearing for 6 months a year, and then they come back and all their shows are selling out. So
yeah. Well, but they are like I mean, I met someone, a young guy who is working in a place in Bristol, and said to me, "You played in Shipley. It's actually the place where I'm born, and actually I'm very thankful to these guys because I had nothing else than them in Shipley." And he really like this is a young guy talking like in his 20s, saying that how thankful he is for this kind of random guys coming and saying, "Oh, let's do a night."
The old
but
punks.
Actually,
it's always the old punks. It's always the old punks, man.
The old punks and the old ravers together.
Yes, true. Because they knew that there is something to do. It's always that.
So, Dali.
Yeah.
What was the first kind of music that really made you want to make music? Was there any kind of spark at one point, or was it just a slow progression?
I think it's a slow progression.
Yeah.
Really, because, well, I mean, no, I can't really think that I had this, because, it was like coming here that was like a kind of, okay, I feel relaxed enough in this environment, and I feel kind of free enough to do this kind of thing. So it was not like related to something external. It was more like,
an environment.
An intimate discovery, if you know what I mean. Like just discovering that you are having this desire.
Yeah.
It's your own desire to go on outside and do that in front of people. So it was not like, I want to be sounding like these people, or I want to be like on stage like these people. For me, it was more like, I need to go out and I need to do that with people.
Okay. Nice. And when you first went out, sorry, Chris, go for it. Sorry, mate.
So you said before as well, like your parents' music was the Moroccan music.
Yeah.
Did you listen to anything yourself that your parents didn't listen to?
Well, imagine, but I was like, I was saying like earlier that listening to the Velvet was really for me like kind of something that was as Occidental music, from Occident, from this kind of the side of this world. Was really interesting. But otherwise, I listen to plenty of shit.
What's shit?
But like, if you put an average radio, okay, what would you have? I'm not going to say some words. I'm not going to tell you about radio. Actually, if like average radio, you have in shops or things like that, or you can have at home and things like that.
I'm gonna have to unlock that cringe in the tour van at some point.
Right.
Yeah, you'll be fine, because Chris is basically Radio fucking 1, but from 1986.
D'accord.
Yeah, so when we're in the van, you're in the van, you're gonna hear all the hits, hits that you want.
I think there's something to be said though about when you're really young, when you're really naive with music, and things catch your ear, and you become like, you know, it's in your head all the time, and you get really attached to it. And whether that is like, you could look at that cynically and say, well, you don't know any better, and it's just making all the right things happen to make your brain think it's good. Or you could say, well, no, it's your brain wanting that, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, you recognize that there is something good in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even also, though when you get older, it makes you cringe a bit. I think there is something to be said that, I don't know, it's like that primal thing, isn't it? You know, it's a primal reaction to music that when you're quite naive and don't really know what's cool and what's cringe, you know, it's a natural reaction. I think there's something there with that we need to tap into more, because other people feel that too, you know.
Well, I think this is like something very intimate. As I said earlier, like, music is touching you like deeply, and it like find a path into you, and there is an intimate reaction to music. So some people are like crazy when they like take metal music, for example. If they listen to metal, they are like, when they are going mad, they love it. And other people are just like having this kind of eruptive reaction, that they are like, no, I can't, you know? So anyway, you can't understand that, because at the end of the day, it's still like playing notes. People are playing notes.
Yeah. And when you're young, a lot of music is tied in also with a very specific emotion. Maybe the first time you felt a very specific emotion, or a memory of a thing. And also, I mean, being in our age, well, I don't know how old you are, Dali, but I'm 43. Chris is 46 or 45.
47.
Maybe 47. Hey, you fucking hell, lad, you're doing well. But what I think as well, I mean, this is just my own theory, and it might be absolute bullshit, and I probably am talking shit, but there's something to be said for this music pre-mobile phone, social media, like this 80s, whatever, 70s, 80s, especially the golden age of the 80s, which is this very specific kind of pop music that somehow was very romantic and creates a very romantic memory for a lot of people who grew up in that time. Music was so important then that it has massively impacted upon people's lives, because there were so many memories tied in with a soundtrack, you know. I don't know if it's so much like that nowadays, because it's different times, obviously. So
but music is still I mean, if you give an importance to music in your life, that's the thing, because I know people who they don't care, they don't listen, they don't engage with music. But as soon as you engage with music, clearly, it touches you, and as you said, is like linked to your life, your memories of emotions when you are feeling love for someone, or friendship. Like, I have friends, I share music with them, and funny memories about like stuff, you know, when you are like children, and you play around some tracks, so you are having fun and remembering some songs. This it all depends. Like, I think this is why it's like so important, like, for me, it's like this intimate relationship with music is like, for me, it's like something that can save people from being just like fucking consumer capitalist and things like that. But you know, I'm still dreaming that people can like have something free, you know, that they don't have to buy. Or
so this kind of leads me on to the probably going to be the last question now, because we've got about 6 minutes left. So what makes you carry on doing what you're doing?
A very good question. I think there is for me, there is also there is this quest in sounds. If you know, like quest is a big word, but sorry, my English is not like, I'm not a native speaker. But what I mean is like, I'm still looking for sounds that touch me. And there is the other aspect of performance. I'm a performer. I need to I discovered that like lately when I arrived in Bristol, but clearly I knew that before, I want to share and create emotion with people, like sharing that with people. That is like, for me, invaluable. It's like, yeah, this is something that when it happens and you have the pleasure to, share and create something with the audience and share with and with the other musician is like invaluable. So this is like my motto. If you want, is like just like go out and share that with people and try to create something that people didn't listen to before, like dig new sounds.
Cool. So that's what's driving you.
I think so. I think so. Clearly, it's not money.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
No, it's not money. So yeah, it has something to do with our life. We made this choice. And this choice is to, go out and share with people.
Perfect. It's the perfect place to end it there, Dali. That's amazing.
I don't know.
I really like that.
Thanks.
So, I mean, nice one. Thank you for being on that and chatting to us. It was very interesting.
Thank you for inviting me. And also thank you for all what you did.
Thank you. I can't wait till we go on tour.
Yes.
So, a lot of people who will be listening to this, and we know the people from the Patreon are going to be at the shows, so they'll hear this. And so, yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see. Let's see what fucking happens.
Let's see if Gnod followers will like Harrga and enjoy it as Gnod do.
I think they will. They will. Nice one.
Thank you so much. You take care of yourself.
See you soon. Ciao.
Bye.